All right, so I'm about to give away the biggest secret that relationship coaches know, but most people don't. If you understand this one little thing, you can prevent like 90% of conflict and have a longer, happier, more deeply connected relationship. So here it is. The number one source of conflict in heterosexual romantic relationships is what's called the abandonment shame spiral. It is the painful, vicious cycle that happens when the most common female emotional wound, the fear of abandonment, triggers or is triggered by the most common male emotional wound, the fear of not measuring up or the shame wound. P.S. I'm only speaking to heterosexual relationships here simply because not enough research has been done yet on how this applies to homosexual relationships. Women are evolutionarily programmed to be hyper-attuned to signs of potential abandonment, simply because we're hardwired to, not pick partners that are going to impregnate us and then leave us to raise the babies alone. This starts very early. Studies show that when female babies feel threatened, their tend and befriend survival response is activated, and their instinct is to make eye contact with someone. Men are societally and evolutionarily programmed to believe that it's their duty to provide and protect, so they're predisposed to feeling extra shame when they feel they're not measuring up. So here's how these two wounds activate each other. For example, when a woman is feeling like her partner isn't showing up as fully for her as she wants him to, something as simple as him forgetting to pick up toilet paper on his way home from work, her abandonment wound is activated. And when she relays that to him from that wounded place, he tends to hear it as criticism, which activates his shame wound. He feels like he's failed to provide for her adequately, and the work that he has done for her has been overlooked, and then he feels the need to defend and withdraw, which makes her feel even more abandoned and hurt, which makes him feel like even more of a failure, which makes him withdraw even more, which makes her feel even more abandoned, and the cycle continues. No matter who starts it, once it gets going, the shame abandonment spiral is a feedback loop which just leads to more and more disconnection and hurt. The tricky part about this is that the only way out is to empathize with your partner's emotional wound, which is difficult to relate to because it's not the emotional wound that you carry. So it takes some getting used to, but the moment we stop focusing on the what of the argument and we start focusing on the why, which is the abandonment shame spiral, then we become a united front working to heal this relational wound. So when you notice this cycle is happening, name it, then hold each other and breathe together, and then do your best to speak for your wounded part rather than from your wounded part, and do your best to understand, listen to, and comfort the wounded part of your partner.